Kara Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, the water, Abba Babal, called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone that teaches this truth, 100% truth. Title's lesson going to be, We Are Not Ignorant. And I've been doing, you have to do your due diligence. When you put lessons out, you have to go back and do your research, not take everything for face value, especially in a place like this place, Babylon the Great, because a lot of what you're presented with is a lot of times is nothing but a facade, man. Especially here in Babylon, they portray themselves as being holy and sanctified and such a beautiful place to come to and all that. But really, once you peel back the layers and look behind the curtains, man, this place is it's like a, um, it's like a blighting community, man, like a hood, underneath, and that's everywhere, with a lot of corruption, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of degeneracy. You can compile it all and put it in one, you know, and and that's from the top, and that top is like a cancer that spreads down to society, man. And you can see this place is falling apart. And anybody that's traveled, that's been outside of this place to other countries, man, you can see how far this place has fallen compared to these other countries who came up. Even these third world countries, in some cases, are a lot more advanced than what this place is, man. We supposed to be the number one country in the world, as far as having money and you know, people in high positions. But because of so much corruption that's been done, in this place, the money, the resources have been drained out of this place, man, and it's pretty much ciphered to the 1% at the top, man, the oligarchs that run this place. But like I said, the title is "We Are Not Ignorant," and we have to be mindful of the media and the propaganda that's used, that's pushed, mainly to keep the people in gross darkness, man. And that's that shadow Egypt that's spoken of. And the elect, we see the play. And why do we see the play? Because we have spiritual eyes, man. Through the spirit of the Hamashiach, through the Holy Ghost, man, we're able to see what's going on. We can see what these devils are trying to do before it even happened. So 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And who is Satan, man? It's talking about these kings of the earth, man, the ones that rule the earth, that makes policy throughout the earth. And it really goes back to these Amalekites that's at the top, that's running everything. But some videos, like I said, I did some research, and you have to go look deep into a lot of things, and find out before you put stuff out there. Because, one thing they're trying to do is demonize, the northern kingdoms that coming over here. Those are our brothers and sisters, man. And don't get me wrong, they utilize a lot of them, same as they do with our people, you so-called blacks, man, or the Southern Kingdom. They utilize a lot of those people, through their gangs and top leaders, because they're pretty much under the payroll of Babylon the Great, and they pretty much control the underbelly through these so-called gang leaders, man, that are really connected to this system. But let me hit some videos real quick, then I'll do some commentary and some and follow with some precepts, man, to make this edifying. Lord will it be edifying.
Again, I'm on the other corner of 61st and King Drive. This is the building alleged that they taken over.
And it's talking about the Venezuelans,
black
man.
people in these buildings. Ain't nobody taking over shit. We don't play that in Chicago. Once again, stop with the fucking lies. I keep telling y'all, it may happen in Denver. It ain't happening in Chicago. Okay? At all. It's business as usual. We don't play that shit. Ain't nobody finna come and take nothing. Nobody taking over nothing in Chicago. So before this shit get out of hand, once again, 6124 South King Drive. I am here. There's no one taking over nothing over here. As you can see, it's black people in the building. It's all peace over here. We don't.
And that's one of the videos, and you know, that's the narrative that's being pushed. And why are they pushing this narrative? Because we know they want to shut the system down. They want to create that purge type environment where they can come in with their draconian laws, man. And this is how they instigate, you know, the tribes to go against each other. There's nothing new. You always go back to the same old play, man. Same old playbook. Keep all the people in division while they continue, you know, rape, rob, and pillage, man. It's nothing new. And here's another video.
Holy fucking shit. I'll be the first to admit it. Chicago is not like Colorado. Them boys is not. Share this, cause this is not no joke. This is not a joke. Them boys in Chicago is definitely not like these motherfuckers in Colorado. I'll be the first to admit. If you want to see what I'm talking about, get on here and type in Chicago man warns Venezuelans. Also, I've reposted
And let me stop there for a minute, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, in any society or any group of people, you're going to always have some, you know, you're going to always have your undesirables. You know, you're going to always have those ones that's going to be, you know, you're going to have your gangs. You're going to have ones that's going to do dumb shit. You know, you're going to always have niggas in a group. But and a lot of Jakes falling into this shit. They're falling into the trap. Because I was just watching another video where this guy, I forget his name, Tyler, the creator, where he goes through it. He really kind of goes to the bottom of the truth. I don't think he could be a plant, but he went into that place in Colorado, man, and he spoke to a couple of Jakes that was there. Jake said, no, that shit ain't going on down like that here. You know, don't get me wrong, the Venezuelans are there, but it's not like they say it is in the news. You know, he said like he had an issue with one. He tell him, hey, we don't do that here. You might live like that in your country, but nah, you know, clean your trash up and shit like that. You know, you talk to them, you know how it is. But, you know, they take it and spin it and try to make it like the whole thing is taken over and Jake is, you know, cowering and shit. No, it's not like that. And what I understand, you see some that he interviews some of the Venezuelans, and I'm gonna put the link to that video in the description. But Venezuelans, most of them say, man, we just get up and go to work and we kind of stay to ourselves. Of course, you're gonna have these undesirables, man. You're gonna have these delinquent little motherfuckers that's gonna run around and do what they do. And a lot of that is orchestrated from on top, you know. So we gotta be mindful, man. They're trying to set this shit up for a purge, man. And Lord will, you know, it do happen, because you know once one thing goes, it's gonna put everything in motion, man, and it's gonna require our Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua to come in and gather up his elect, man, and come and firebomb this whole motherfucker, you know. So yeah, let's play this a little bit.
That I'm seeing that I think you guys need to see. So if you are following me, get on my profile and go to my reposts. They might still be there. You know, they're trying to hide. But my dude is playing bold. He put his whole face out on there. His face, he didn't hide it.
Let me see, here's another video too.
He didn't cover.
Papi, esto es lo que yo llamo una partida norteamericana aquí de basquetbol. Hey, man. Hey, say to Venezuela, man. Come on, my brothers. Come on. Say what? Okay. Hey, my brothers, my people. My brother. Hey, man. Who plays the USA, man?
They are people, man. They are the Northern Kingdom, man. I forget which tribe it is. I have to go back and look at the chart. But those are still our people. I listened to Elder Apostle Malcolm in GMS Chicago, and he was talking about how, you know, a lot of Jakes and the Venezuelans kind of clicking up, you know, dating each other women and that type of thing, because those are still our people. And you have to keep in mind that these people that's being brought up here, when all hell break loose, either the Lord sent them up here, they're going to they're going to be saved, far as they're going to be part of the elect, or either they're going to be destroyed. They came up here for the destruction. Because you got niggas amongst them. You got niggas in our people and niggas amongst them. But a lot of them may be brought up here to be saved. We don't know. But besides that, we know the plan of Esau Edom, man. He's trying to create this division. He's trying to create this war. Trying to get all the gangs involved. He's trying to manipulate the situation. And it's just crazy. And they try to create this animosity because they send them into these these black neighborhoods, man, and they don't have to pay rent. They get them extra amount of dollars in their accounts and in their food stamps card, and it's just wild, man. It's just crazy to see this thing happening and how they doing it. And it's they don't hide it, man. They don't hide that shit at all.
Hey, USA, the best country, man.
But it's crazy, man. So we have to be very well aware, man. We have to be very circumspect in these times.
Y'all think the Venezuelans not...
Because the devil is using social media also as a tool. So we have to be mindful of shit that they put out on social media as well.
Took over 61st and King Drive, and y'all are so loud and wrong, it is sick. Let me roll the footage for you.
Hey, them Venezuelans enough? Y'all want them in there? What's up? They cool? Okay. Hey, you already know how motherfuckers be on my mama, G. Motherfuckers ready to pull up and get their ass. So y'all, they cool with y'all though? Y'all cool? Hey, say less. So my mama, y'all know to keep their ass under control. On my mama, boy, y'all be smooth. Yeah. Well, that solves that.
So we have to see the play, man, for what it is, man. The devil's always done that. Conquer, come in, they divide, and then they conquer. You see what they did to the northern tribes when they came over here to the Americas back in the late 14 and 1500s. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 4, and we're going to read on down to 7. And these are the words that Yahweh spoke concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. And ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. I mean, he's catching hell, man, with his child, man. He's crying. Hands on his loins, and as a woman in travail. And all faces are turned into paleness. We're going to have that fear that's going to be put in them. Alas, for that is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. Who's going to be saved? The elect men, women, and children are going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble. But the rest, the 2/3, man, it's going to be nothing but carnage, man. Instead of that trash laying on the side of the street, you're going to have bodies laying out there in the trash on the side of the streets. That's not going to be picked up for days. It's going to be all kind of hell, chaos. And all this is being orchestrated by the powers that be at top because they want it. They pushing this type of agenda, man. They pushing the narrative. So they creating a situation. They setting it all up, but at the end of the day, Yahweh knows what's going on. He's wanting his elect be prepared. Know what to do in these times. Not fall for the fuckery that's going on. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and we're going to read on down through 19. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14, we'll read on down through 19. Shalakia. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another people, and swords in their hands. Same scenario that they're trying to create here. They're trying to create tribes against each other. You're going to have them Edomites that's going to jump in. They're looking for opportunity to get in. You know, they're going to have their groups that's going to come through, their little militias. You're going to have the gangs. You're going to have these, you know, they bringing all these other foreign nationals like these Chinese, the Africans, the Ishmael, those groups, them Arabs. So they got all these other groups in here, and a lot of them, you know, probably under the payroll are being paid by Esau Edom to, you know, they're going to be mercenaries, man. They're going to put them blue helmets on and come out here, and they're not going to show any sympathy amongst you so-called Americans, man. For the sword in their destruction draw nigh, and the people shall stand up and fight against another, and the swords in their hands. And there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and of course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. When we kicking in doors, man, busting out windows. You know, you got to board up your shit, try to protect your goods, man, try to protect your food, try to protect your family. You know, people going to be pretty much locked in. You know, you're going to have these groups that's going to come together. And you always see it in some of the movies, man. You know, you go back to movie of The Walking Dead, which is really a depiction of you Jakes, man. But, you know, you see it like a post-apocalyptic scenario, man. And that's what it's going to be like in Jacob's Trouble. Every man out for himself. You know, neighbor's going to be going against neighbor. When you go into the movie Leave This World Behind, and the neighbor went over to, you know, brought a son over there, tried to ask the guy for some medicine. He said, you know, we've been friends. We've been neighbors for a long time. He said, you know what? That don't mean shit right now. You know, shit is loose. You can't get these supplies. So I'm holding on to my shit. So you're going to have people it's going to be like that. Going to be family members like that. That's going to turn on one another. You know, people going to be tried and tested. One thing about people in this place, that's why they call it the virgin door to Babylon, because they've never been under any pressure. And once that pressure get going, and that's what these Edomites are trying to do. They're trying to put that pressure on to get people to crack, man. And so they can come in with them draconian laws. A man shall have pity upon his neighbor. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, and shall destroy their houses with the sword. What's that sword? The modern day gun. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread for great tribulation. You always see inflation going up with the price of what it's turning some of these cities into. You go out west to San Francisco and Oakland, you know, they running the stores, just goddamn pillaging them stores, man. That's just the beginning of it, man. Isaiah chapter 43:2. When thou pass through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. And it's talking about the waters, talking about, you know, all hell breaking loose. It's talking about a time of trouble. It's talking about them Gerber troops coming through. That's them waters, man. And the Lord is going to, you know, he's going to carry you. He's going to guide you through that situation, through that point in time, man. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 10 and 11. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm. You're talking about his power, man. And smite Egypt with plagues as before, and destroy all the land thereof. You know the plagues are coming. You always see pestilence and diseases. They're already talking about these things about to be unleashed. You know, in the news, you know, they're saying, oh, you know, this is coming up, this other one's coming up. And that's going to be them going through those quarantine lockdowns again. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 30 and 31. And then shall be a sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds and from one end of heaven to the other. So we look for the Lord coming back, man, and gathering up his elect. And Lord will, we able to endure these hardships that's going to come upon the earth, man, mainly in Babylon the Great, that we can be delivered up out of this. And like I said, unfortunately, a lot of these Venezuelans or these other nationalities coming down from these southern countries, man, they're going to be, a lot of them going to be destroyed, unfortunately. But then again, some may be brought up here to be delivered. And, you know, really they've been played. E does not give a fuck about those people coming up here, man. They do not give a fuck about them Venezuelans. If they did, they wouldn't put sanctions on their country and allow those people to live, man. Because they was doing good back in, I remember back in the 80s. I forget who the president then was, Julio Chavez, you know. He spoke out against Babylon the Great, man. You know, he stood 10 toes down. He held on to the oil because that's an oil-rich country. And so they tried to sanction him and try to destroy the country. And I think eventually he ended up dying mysteriously. You know how that goes. But and then they put this guy Maduro in, and then all of a sudden all hell just kind of broke loose. You know, they try to bring in another government to take over him. But, you know, never know at the end of the day whether he was trying to do right or what, or whether they try to sabotage his campaign to sabotage the country. But in the end, people are suffering. The people end up suffering. And that's why a lot of them come up. You don't think they'd rather be in their own country than being up here in this hellhole, man? Working hard as hell at these jobs, living in those rat-ass communities? You know, even though they're giving them money and sanctions, they doing that to manipulate them, man. These Edomites don't give a fuck about nobody. So you think they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart to these people, for these people. Hell no, they trying to set them up. They setting them up and use them as a cheese in the trap, man. They're trying to use them to lure everybody into this so-called, which is going to be a civil war, man, into Jacob's trouble. That purge, you know, that's why they give you these purge movies. They're trying to set it off, man. They're doing everything in their power too. But it's not going to happen to the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem allow it to happen and sanction it. So we have to be mindful, man. And they're going to keep hitting with all type of misinformation, all type of COINTEL operations where they're going to have people masquerading as, you know, paid Venezuelans or paid people from these other countries, man, that's going to be doing a lot of foul and wicked shit. You know, they're going to pay them to do that, to try to set this thing in motion. So with that being said, man, all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And the Lord is waking things up, man. He's shaking it up. With that, say shalom.